Hello, hello, hello. Are we live? I assume we're live because it's been a while. But thanks for joining. For those who end up joining, I know it's been a while. It's been a long time. But yeah, unfortunately, um, streaming don't pay the bills. Not yet, at least. So I am going to do some animation. If you want to join in on the chat, feel free to join in. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and start putting together some animation edits. So let's jump right in. I'm going to chuck on some music. You won't be able to hear it, but I can. Hey, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Thanks for joining as well. I'm going to be putting together some edits, so plenty of stuff to do. Ah, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. So today I'm going to edit a. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Um, I don't know. Has anyone seen this stuff? I don't know. Some people would have seen some of this stuff. But I am editing some animation scenes. Because I got to replace some rig stuff. I got to replace some scenes with new costumes, as you can see here. She's wearing completely different stuff. And thank you for joining, Limbo. Cheers. I'm going to go ahead and continue to edit this animation. So I did a change in animation here last night, and I'm going to go ahead and fix up that a little bit. So looking forward to it. This is the first time in a long time I've had time to just really focus on things. So yeah, this shot is a shot I'm gonna pimp out a little bit. She's looking a bit dead-eyed here. Gonna fix up the hands, fix up Evie's eyes. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining. So let's go ahead and jump into Blender. I'm also gonna add this part here. So in the previous version, it just jumps straight to the side view. I'm thinking about extending that scene a little bit. So before she gets to this scene here, oh, thanks. Before I get to that scene there, it will be live. It will be uploaded to YouTube at least, so it automatically saves. This animation is for my short film. So if you don't know, I've been working on this for ages, just slowly. But this last couple of weeks, I've got a bit of time, not so much commission work to go for. So let's focus on this. So I'm going to go ahead and animate this. But yeah, you can see that side view. I'm going to extend that and then hook up to this shot here. So yeah, let's jump right into Blender. And as you can see, I'm working with a Mac now, at least with my laptop, because I am using it because it's awesome. It's so good. That's basically the reason why. So yeah, a lot quieter, a lot cooler, and like physically cooler in the office. And yeah, it's really good. Just so I'm just wondering as well, can everyone hear me? I don't know if anyone can hear me right now. So just making sure that's the case. Let me just sign in as well, so I can add to the chat. Making sure that that's the case. Oh, you can? Brilliant. All right, great. Um, because I don't want to sound like everyone like going, "What the fuck's going on here?" But yeah, yeah, brilliant. All right, that's good to hear. Then that's good to see. Fantastic. All right, let's get some animation going. So you can see here, this is my setup on the screen. This is how I usually work. I have one screen for edits and one screen to actually see what I'm doing. And last night I basically cleaned up that part there, and that's where I got up to. So the plan is to probably like double up on this scene actually. So that would be pretty cool. I'm gonna use it twice over. So I will do a front view and a side view for this. So I'll probably have to clean up her walk cycle as well a little bit, but that's all right. So the goal for this morning, at least for the next hour or so, is to pimp out the little girl a little bit's animation. So I'm really happy with the way she's moving, and I like the fact that, like, if you look at her hand, Evie's hand, she pushes up the girl and gets her jumping up a little bit so she can re reposition herself. I was looking at that last night. I'm like, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty fun. Nice little bit of subtlety there. But I do have to fix up her fingers, so we'll be doing that a little bit today. But first, let's worry about the girl's face. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on her rig, disable her mesh. Yo, yeah, going well, going well. It's been a quiet month freelance-wise, so I really want to take advantage of it. That's why I've been pumping out more videos, and I don't know if anyone's part of my Patreon here, but been posting a little bit more, hoping to put some more content up there as well. So yeah, it's been a hectic year, really, a little bit. So yeah. All right, let's bring up her face. All right, let's turn off her bodies for now. Let's sort of focus on her face, really. That's all I want to care about right now. Let's see, and head. That's all the ones I want to care about. But yeah, how you guys doing? How's everyone doing on this side of on your side of the world? All right, cool. So with that in mind, I'm gonna grab her eyes, get some keyframes going on there. So add a keyframe. All right, and I actually want to have the eyes start off over here, looking at Evie. All right, get those. Brilliant. How's it feel? I'm not actually not sure what to do with her face. With her hello, welcome. Not sure what to do with her jaw. I might actually open her up a little bit, just for now. There we go. Get that going on. Oh, that's brilliant. That's great. That's a pretty fun way to spend the summer, just focusing on stuff, making cool stuff. Yeah, nice one. If you're wondering why if it's glitching like that, it's a Mac problem. That's the only thing that sucks about the Mac is that Blender's pretty buggy. Um, so if it keeps getting worse, I'll just flicker it off and on, flick on Blender. Ah, no worries. Thanks for joining, and thanks for commenting. And I'll be adding more stuff. Got some cool stuff coming up soon. All right. I can see it looks a bit funny when you animate. Um, Halfway through a shot. There we go. Let's get that up and running. The thing is, like with this stuff as well, it's always trial and error with what looks good. Like you can see here, her eyes are fully cross-eyed there a little bit. She's not meant to be smiling at that point either. And here I'll probably make her blink again as well. So I'm gonna grab those controllers. I actually re-rigged her face the other day because I've come to the conclusion that I can't be bothered doing bone things. Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for the super chat. Have I ever used iClone to Blender to iClone workflow? No, I haven't. I don't have any like I haven't had much use with. I haven't never used iClone before. But again, I want to try using my iPhone to capture some mocap, um, facial mocap soon. So that might be on the cards. Uh, the answer to that is that I've actually rebuilt her eyelids to with blend shapes, so they don't clip through. That's basically it. So basically, I sculpted her eyes to do that. One, there we go. That looks way better. So how much better does that look when you add a little bit of a blink? There we go. The other thing is that the eyes aren't spherical actually in this case. They're actually just planes that have been skin wrapped or shrink wrapped to the eyeballs. So that also helps a little bit because it's just really it's really what's the word? Simplistic, I guess you can say. How do I automate my lip sync in Blender? Basically, I just time it to audio. I do it the old-fashioned way for the most part. So I work out the poses for the lip shapes, um, and then I animate to those. Basically, I make sure the timing's right and that it reads well, and that's it really. I wouldn't say it's simple, but the method is simple, relatively speaking. That looks cool. Yeah, massive difference. The only thing now is just to get her jaw moving a little bit. So, and also making her mouth a little bit smaller. Whoop, bum. Get a little bit overshooting, and then back down a little bit. There we go. That looks better. See how much? Yeah, just adding a little bits and bobs makes such a difference. Massive difference. Oh well, thank you very much. I'm not sure I'm about genius. I'm just fucking animating my way through something. But yeah, appreciate the compliments, and also thank you for the super chats to Kelly Johnson. Appreciate that as well. Um, thanks. So what I'm going to do now is get her mouth. These are all done with blend shapes at this point, or shape keys in Blender as they call them. So going to keyframe there because I don't want her smiling. It's not meant to be a happy. Actually, yeah, that will work all right. Looks a bit too sad there now. But that's all right. We'll deal. There we go. That'll do fine. Animate her teeth as well. Not a tongue, teeth. A bit of a cheat, but you know, you'd be surprised how much people cheat with these teeth. And then I might make her mouth a little bit smaller because it looks like she's about to cry. So over from here, there we go. That looks better. best of. I don't know about that. They're really expensive. That looks better. Her mouth looks way better when it's smaller. Yep. Yeah, that's cool. I won't render this out because this is the only thing that's bad with the Apple laptop is that the rendering takes forever. But I can always test out the render as well, just as a single shot while we're animating. Might make her teeth smaller there as well. You can contact me through my email, or through Twitter, or through Instagram. I do tend to forget that Instagram exists, but so Twitter DMs would probably be okay. As for whether or not I have the time to be able to do Any extra work on the side is up to a debate, I guess, at this point. But yeah, just let me know what the project is, and I can have a chat. It's actually it's a single. It actually is a single shape. It's not actually individual, the teeth. So they just look like they've been individually shaped. That's it. Um, so I don't bother doing individual. Um, I don't have individual teeth. It's all just apparently like that. There we go. That looks cool. And also I can have a little preview, turn on the lights, all that sort of stuff. I probably will modify Evie's rig a little bit as well. If it crashes, I'm sorry. Sometimes it crashes with the Max. That's all right. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that for now. All right, cool. Boom. Boom. All right, cool. I haven't seen it yet. I need to download it. I mean, stream it. uh, it's kind of hard to get Game of Thrones in Australia without having to get HBO Max. So I have to probably purchase a stream or something like that. But I will be watching it. I wasn't much of a Game of Thrones fan when it was on myself, but I think I'll give this one a shot because I know that the directors are different at this point, and I think they've learnt their lessons hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. Plus, my partner, my wife, she loved the show when it was on, so I'll probably download it for her as well. All right, cool. Let's do some hair. Oh no, hair. Let's do some hands. Actually, let's do the hands first. Am I going to be challenged with? I probably will pay someone to do um the sound design. I don't think I have the patience to do sound. It's so complicated. Not complicated, just time consuming, and of course it's all dependent on my budget. So if I can't afford it, I'll have to just slog through it and do it myself. But it will never sound as good as it would if I had a proper sound designer. Ah, thank you. Um, I'm surprised that there's so many people online at the moment anyway, because I haven't done this in months. So I appreciate the audience at this point. Let's do some hand animation and see what we can do here. Hands, 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 metacarpals, and fingers. There we go. And I probably have to add some changes to her arms as well. So FK, 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 FK. Where are we? FK arms and left. There we go. What's everyone listening to, by the way, at the moment? I'm currently listening to the new Muse album, and it's friggin' awesome. It's so good. And thank you for the compliments, by the way. Um, all right, cool. So when I want to give a little bit of a nice bend in the fingers as she starts to fall. So give that a bit more of a stronger silhouette. One, two, three. Oops, wrong one. So yeah, let's get that going on there. I'm always wondering what people are wondering when they watch these streams of me animating, because it's like sometimes it's really quite a bit of points of quietness as I concentrate. But if you have any questions, just feel free to ask any question really, whether it's about art or whatever. It depends on what your class is. What's your class, mate? Because if your class is actually animation, then I'd say go for the class, mate. Oh, really? That's cool. This is basically how I operate. I could do like I tend to do a mix between blocking and then a mix between like just going right into it. Sometimes I feel it's easier when I just go right into it. Other times I need to get a good blocking out. This is an old animation file as well, so I'm actually cleaning up something that's been around for months. But since the update with Blender, everything broke, so I got to actually reanimate some shots. So this is done. This was animation file was done before proxies were deleted or removed from the software. So I have to actually go through and relink all the rigs. I have to relink all the animation, all that sort of stuff. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to go ahead and clean up these shots. So you can see here, I'm trying to get some nice follow through with the fingers and some get it feeling like nice and natural. Get a little bit of rhythm in there. Do I watch Primal? Good question. I really want to, but again, I find it really hard to one first access these shows, and two, just having the time to devote to all these different stuff that's coming out. It's inevitable that I'm going to miss out on things, especially with you know, just life in general getting in the way of things. So yeah, I really want to check it out because I know like I can never pronounce his name, but the guy who directs it or has created the show, he's my favorite friggin' director for animation. He's made so many shows that I love in the 90s with Dexter's Lab and stuff. So I really want to give it a shot. And like if I had an like a person who inspired me to become an animator or an artist, it would be him really. So it's a shame that I haven't had a chance to check out his other shows. Even like I know it's weird, but even though a lot of people give it shit, the movies, but the Hotel Transylvania movies, just on an animation level, are just so fucking nice to watch. That like it's a massive inspiration, basically. So you can see here, look at the difference with the hand now. So much more. It's got a lot more personality in there, and it also reveals certain things about the emotion that makes me need to fix things up. Like I'm gonna copy those frames actually. Uh, fix up any linear like actions in the animation. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that pose there and bring it down as she brings her hand down here. I'm gonna paste it into place there, so it can looks like it settles. There we go. You can kind of see her hand twisting there a little bit. Yes, I want to make it profitable. Whether it's through Patreon and supporting the creation of new episodes, film festivals, I don't know, maybe, or I highly doubt this would ever happen, but like maybe some sort of like contract or something like that. I don't know. But I would love to be able to continue making these shorts over time, and I have a whole plot in mind, obviously. So getting that done would be awesome. All right, let's get that in there. Might just bring that in a little bit too. So that looks a bit better. There we go. In the hand, I might reduce that twist a little bit so her hand is nice and straight. I might just reduce that from happening there. Yeah, I prefer it if it didn't just wiggle there. So there we go. That looks so much better. And I might just, if I wanted to do a little bit of overlap, it'd be like getting a little bit of in the thumb itself, in the hand itself. Just give it a little bit of that, and then a little bit of that. Ko-Fi. Yeah, I could do that. I wouldn't mind doing that. I think Patreon also does one-time donations as well. Um, but yeah, or even just super chats or super thanks on YouTube. Honestly, would be awesome. I've turned those on for all my videos. So if you feel the need, not saying you have to at all, but if you feel like giving a little bit of a super thanks, feel free to do that too. I find it hard to manage all these different kinds of I guess you can say services. So yeah, whether I go down the route of one or not, I don't know. I might delete that one actually. That was a bit too much. Yeah, that would be fine. All right, cool. Also, by the way, I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but has anyone actually used inside the the tool settings for uh the rigs, the auto IK? It's one of the best things. Let's see, item, where are we? Should be here. Edit. Where are we? It should be here. Animation, view. I use it all the time. Where is it? Active tool. There it is. Auto OK. There it is there. Auto OK is one of the coolest features in Blender. So if you're working in FK, which I am here with the arm, and you want to do a quick little fix across the entirety of the arm, hey, how you doing? Um, all right, cool. You can actually use your move tool to edit the whole arm, and there we go, done. One of the coolest features in Blender I haven't seen anywhere else. There we go. And that looks so much better. And as she falls, I might animate her thumb. So as she falls in, I might even give that a little bit of a wobble. I have multiple monitors. I have 3 monitors. Obviously at the moment I'm using my laptop screen and 2 LG monitors. AGAB. What the hell does that mean? I have no idea what that means. I think um AGAIBG. I have no idea what that means. But yeah, going back to the monitor question, yeah, I have multiple monitors. Unfortunately, my XP Pen tablet doesn't work very well with the Mac M1, so I kind of need to either upgrade or find a solution, a driver solution. There we go. There we go. And then she falls. Just gonna get her going like that. Get a little bit of overlap in there. There we go. 1, 2. There we go. But RL Zanog, R Lizanog. I have yeah, I mean they can, for sure. I mean like the laptop screen is a higher resolution than the screens I have at the moment. So yeah, definitely can work. I'm actually working off the battery of this laptop and it's running at like full tilt, almost at real time. How good is that? It's an amazing laptop. I'm probably gonna make if anyone's actually interested in a review of the M1 Max with not the Max as in the Max variant, but the M1 chip um with use in Blender, I'm happy to make a review. The move tool. Oh, right. Yeah. With the auto IK. Yeah. If you have auto IK switched on in the pose options, obviously you can work like you would normally expect with rotations in your FK controls. But if you need to animate a joint chain, like an arm, or even a finger, let me just show you. So 3 joints. If I want to move the entire thumb, I can grab it and it will find the next 3 joints and just do a sort of, actually I might actually pose it that way. It will actually act like an IK control temporarily while you animate. It's awesome. So yeah, there we go. Her hand's looking way better there now. Bonk. Love that. And obviously I got to fix up Evie as well. Once she's done. Once the girl's done. I think her hand is good to go though. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah. Windows is best. Apple's always plays with our mind, with the whole ecosystem. Yeah. See, the thing is, after buying this thing, I have kind of been converted in a way to, I wouldn't say 100% to Mac. Obviously, for games and shit, I'm still going to be using my PC. But I've been using this Mac with an iPad, and then I tried it with the Apple TV, and like even reviewing content on the TV from the Mac is just insanely easier. Just being able to like getting a Windows PC to work with an Android TV, for instance, is just a nightmare. And like the way they like, oh, it's just a pain in the ass. Even just like I've been using the iPad with my storyboarding app on the Mac, and just be able to sidecar it, and it's just incredible. The workflow is so nice. Like there's so many quality of life things when using the laptop that I haven't really used my PC that I only upgraded last year. Apart from the graphics cards, um, I haven't used it in like months. It's insane. Um, yeah, the only thing I'm going to be using the PC for is really for rendering. Um, all right, cool. There we go. There we go. Let's do the other hand now. The thing about animation is that once you've got the blocking out, the subtleties can take forever to get right. Whether it's breathing, if you want to add breathing to the character, or little like flourishes of the hand. So you can see here, like the hand here stays kind of robotic there in the right hand side, or her left hand in this case. There's no keyframes there, so you kind of have to like go ahead and give it a little bit of the life. Oh, it's over here. Sorry, so you don't really need to see it there, but once she turns around, you can see just how. Ah, no worries. I actually plan on updating it with a new series soon enough as well, because there's a few things that came out with Blender in the last couple of months that have made workflows easier. But I'm going to start with a creature series first. I'm going to do a dragon series. So I'm going to do a how to model a dragon first, and then we'll get into more character stuff after that. But you can see here just how quick it was for me to edit that hand pose. Just to show you again. Auto IK turned on. Her hand's clipping through the face. Grab the hand in FK, mind you, and then boom, done, fixed. It's so cool. All right, so I'm gonna have her pull out her hand and stretch it out a little bit there. Give her a little bit more personality there. And boom. It's also, mind you, it will add keyframes with the auto IK across the FK chain. So anything that you can see here, it's adding keyframes, even though I'm only controlling one controller. So that's also pretty amazing stuff. Obviously, the only thing you don't have is like pole control, like eye-cake pole control. But that's okay. I'm not going to bother about the clipping. Uh, yeah, to be familiar. Also, that things just quality of life things come out. Like, you know, I updated to 3, for instance, to because of the whole reason why they've. I'll put it this way: when using proxies, it's very limited, and there's a lot of issues with proxies compared to library overrides. Much more sensitive to changes to the original file, because I'm actually using these are all referenced into the file; they're not copied into the file. So making changes on the fly, for instance, are much nicer with library overrides. So I'm happy to make the animation changes. Um, the other thing as well is that um, you can turn off modifiers. You can turn on and off modifiers inside the references. Um, so the trade-off is better off. I'm better off with the trade-offs of having to make some fixes with the animation. So for instance, if I want to select the mesh and turn on or off certain features, I can still turn them off and on in the settings here. So you can see here, corrective smooth. I can turn it off and on inside of the file here. That being said, library overrides are still nothing compared to Mayer's referencing system. So there are still some growing pains I wish they could fix, but it is better off still, and generally more stable. Before 3.0, I think library overrides were still super buggy, so it made it harder to be able to use them. But now they're pretty stable and really great to use. Sorry, if you hear me like making sounds of music, it's because I'm listening to the new Muse album and it's so good. There we go. That looks cool. So you can see we get some nice overlap, and the only thing is that her arm, I think, needs to be stretched out a little bit first there, and there we go. It's a bit soft there now. So if you're going to make animation changes to the timing, you kind of have to use, um, you have to make sure that you are obviously selecting all the right controllers. Keying sets. I haven't really used them much, so I can't give a straight answer for that yet. I'll get back to you on that. I still animate like a new, in a way, I kind of animate like a way that I shouldn't. Well, as in like I kind of shotgun it and work with the most simplest of tools. Part of the reason for it is just that I know that if I can come back to fix it, I don't have to go through so many menus. So I know that the keys are there, everything's set. Let's go ahead and have a look at the keying sets as you mentioned it though. Ooh, did it crash? I hope not. But as you can see, Blender is a bit buggier. Let's see, is it responding? Not responding. Classic. Well, let me open it up and have a look. I hope I didn't lose any files. That much files. Or corrupt the file for one. But yeah, the next update I'm hoping is a lot more stable than than okay, cool. I didn't think I lost anything. Uh, Yeah, that's fine. Great. I'm pretty happy with her now. I might animate her fingers and that's it. So let's have a look at the keying sets. Where are they, actually? Keying sets. I actually don't know where the hell they are. If you could point me to them, That'd be good. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm sorry. I don't use it basically. Um, so keying sets, I assume, are like selection sets that you can set up to get poses done faster. Let's go ahead and animate these fingers. So in a similar fashion, I'm just going to go ahead and give her a more appealing shape in her fingers. And you can see here, I animate at low poly. I'm not animating at like full subdivisions turned on. And you shouldn't either, because it's just too slow. And this is another thing about the Macs, is that obviously you'd be wondering, is the performance much different in the Viewport to, and this is the reason why I bought it, to a fully fledged PC? And the answer is no, because the bottlenecking is Blender based. It's based on the software itself, and I don't get much difference in performance in the Viewport than on the full PC with a 64 gig RAM or all that sort of shit. So yeah, if you're ever interested, if you're wondering about that, not a problem. Yeah, I try not. I have the autosave and the backups turned on, and it updates. It backs up every 3 minutes or so on in the temp folder, so I don't usually lose that much. Plus, I just naturally save every 2 or 3 minutes on the file itself. So I try not to. I try to be conscious of it anyway. So yeah, it doesn't really make much difference for me either. There we go. There we go there. The nice thing is that I rendered out a video version of this last night, so we can actually see the before and after. Even though it's not fully rendered, we can see the before and after of the result of all this work that we're doing today on the actual rig. This got scale. Looks like it's a bit big. Oh no, just looks big. There we go. There we go. That looks all right. So yeah, let's have a look at the Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate the kind words. That looks so much nicer. But let's have a look at the preview. Let's have a look at this before and after. So I got Premiere still open. So here's the before. You can see just how much better she now looks with the in the face. Massive difference. Boop. Yeah, so I'm really liking what I've done so far this morning. And it's so much nicer when you have nothing like no like when you have some time to focus on these things. All right, cool. I think I'll wrap it up. Not wrap up the stream, but wrap up her animation with her hair. Eevee. I'm using Eevee for the final render. I wouldn't do this with cycles if I was. No, fuck that. It's too. The stylization is only possible really through Eevee anyway. Let's turn on her hair. I don't have a control thing for that hair, so. So I did plan on using procedural spring joints, but didn't work out. So I'm just going to go ahead and keyframe everything. All right, cool. Let's get some nice flowy hair going on. So I'm going to keyframe that. I don't want to do too much, obviously, at certain parts because it'll look a bit weird. But sorry, I'm humming to the music. I can't play it unfortunately because it's friggin' copyright stuff, you know. Compositing in Resolve, maybe. I would like to. I suspect though I'll end up doing it in After Effects and Premiere, only because Fusion is awesome. Fusion is awesome, but it's just faster to get color grade, like certain things animated in shot in After Effects, and the plugins make it much easier to do those edits in After Effects. Even if it's not the most efficient, it's still easier to get the job done. And I'm paying for the subscription anyway, so I may as well use it anyway. So you can see a little bit of. Actually turn, so her hair would flow this way. There we go. A little bit of flow there. Hey, how you doing? And then a little bit of air time in there. Whoop. And then a little bit of sway in there. Whoppa. I render in Filmic, and then that's a good. Thanks for reminding me. I gotta change. I gotta get the plugin for After Effects. Thank you for reminding me. So unless I already fixed it, I may have already fixed it. But the way that Blender's Filmic gamut works, you need to get a plugin to make it work well with After Effects. But I work with Filmic and the standard display device, RGB. And depending on what I want to do, I may change the look a little bit, but that's about it. But you need to get an Aces workflow plugin for After Effects to make it work better. That's something I discovered when I was doing my last commission. So I might have to, yeah, I think I have to fix that up in After Effects with my computer. Yeah, good question. That's a bit too much, I think, there. So I might actually bring that back down. All right. Yeah, I think I screwed it a little bit. Okay, I see what I'm doing there. All right, cool. Sometimes you just forget what you're doing. There we go. And then straighten it out as she falls. And then I'll recover the hair in the rotations there. Yeah, it looks better. How much difference is adding those little bits of overlap and follow through? It's such a difference. I'll probably do the back of the hair as well. But as she starts to fall again, I might get a bit more rotation in there again. These are bendy bones, by the way. That's what, if you're wondering how I'm selecting multiple joints. The blender pipeline. In what regard? Because I use it every day. So if my pipeline is Blender essentially. Anything more specific to that? That's why I asked about Resolve. I've tried to use After Effects for EXR and it's cumbersome. Do you have a good in-depth source about color management that I'm trying to learn more about? That's a good question, actually. I wish I could actually give the add-on studio. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna open up Firefox and show you. I think I bookmarked this. Let me just double check. Um, EXR, Aces, Blender, Workflow, After Effects. It's a really obscure. I wish I'm sure I am. All right, cool. I think it's yeah. I think it's this. Yeah, it's definitely this page. Let me just chuck it up on. Crap. You're on Twitch, so I can't reply. If you go to YouTube, Lizanog, Lizanog, I'm gonna put a link on the chat, and you'll be able to and you'll be able to find the. This is what I used. I'm pretty sure this is what I used. You might actually see it on the chat there. Right, iClur. Yeah. I haven't used the add-on studio that much. No. But yeah, that's the way I've learnt about the Aces thing with Blender. But yeah, this was a lifesaver. This tutorial, absolute lifesaver with After Effects, for sure. Yeah, so check that out when you have the time. Um, if it doesn't show up again in the chat, I'll put it as a pinned comment in the chat when I finish the stream. All right, so you can see the hair's looking a lot better now, and got some nice like asymmetrical flow there too. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this part of the hair first. I haven't done iClone before. As for your question about Blender pipeline, it really depends on the. It really depends on what you want to do with Blender, I guess, for certain pipelines. There we go. And then there we go. That looks so much better. There we go. Looking really good so far, I think. So I'm happy with that. But you can see just like because I've been streaming for almost an hour now, like how long it takes just to clean things up a little bit, and why it takes so long to make a film if you really care about the animation. Right. No worries. Yeah, the Aces thing is a bit more. I guess it's interesting. The thing about the Aces color gamut. All right, cool. Let's get the tuft of hair here now done, and I think we can move on to Evie herself. That's her name, by the way. That's a coincidence. Her name has been Evie before Evie existed, just so you know. um, I just like the name. And then a little bit of overlap. Get that gravity in there. There we go. If you're wondering why I don't have controllers for this, it's because I added it at a late stage and I couldn't be fucked adding them onto the hair. There we go. That's a bit too extreme there, I think. So I might keyframe that, move that here. Looks like a hold. What's going on there? Might remove that too. I have no idea what the issue it might be. But I appreciate the effort rather anyway, if you're having issues. There we go. Do you use curves at a later stage, or do you do everything with the dope sheet? I use curves a lot. It's actually a good question because I haven't been using the graph editor at all in this video so far. I didn't realize, but yeah, I use it constantly. The reason I'm not really caring too much about the graph editor at the moment is because the animations that I'm adding at the moment are really simple. So I don't really need to work with the graph editor in mind. But major movements like her hips and her arms and stuff, yeah, definitely. Do I have to do a back of the hair? I don't think so. I think it's okay not to do a back of her hair. You don't see it. But there is some... nah, it's fine. All right, cool. So you might be wondering how I'm doing Evie's hands with if it's got constraints or anything like that. The answer is no. I'm just basically shotgunning it. I'm what's the word? Yeah, I'm basically just animating by eye for the hand because I originally did have it as a constraint to the girl's body, but when you change the rigs, it's just painful to change those constraints. So I didn't bother. Plus, it gives me a bit more flexibility to give some natural movement in there. Pretty happy with that though. Fuck. All right. Let's do Evie now. Actually, before we do that, face. I got to do her eyebrows. Just very basic animation for the eyebrows. A bit there, and then as she drops, let's get some overlap, little bounce in there, boonk. And then she opens her eyes, sorry, raise them up a little bit. How much different? It's so different that like the little changes, man. There we go. That's all I wanted to do. So that's looking good so far. All right. Cool. Let's move on. So yeah, again, I've been looking at the same footage for an hour with this stuff. You know, that's just the nature of animation. Um, that being said, I like compared to like watching a gameplay or something like that. I guess it would be a little bit less interesting seeing the same thing over and over again. But you know, considering how game loops are designed nowadays, it's not that much different, really. Oops, I just turned on Siri by accident. All right, cool. Let's do Evie's body now because she has some fixes to do. I'm gonna start with her hands today. So I'm gonna get her pose in her fingers up to scratch first. I'm going to turn off everything except her hands. I'll bring back those in a second. So FK, I think I used FK. Or was it IK? I think it's IK actually. Let me double check. Yeah, it is. All right, cool. And her hands, fingers. There we go. Cool. So you can see I've crossed her fingers a little bit too much there in the metacart in the tops there. So I'm just going to go ahead and fix that up to begin with. I first started studying animation in 2011, and then I graduated university at the end of 2013. Got my first job at 2014 as a 2D animator, and then from 2016 to 2018 I was freelancing, and then from 2018 to 2020 I was working at a studio for a motion graphics studio, and then from 2020 onwards I've been freelancing and teaching. Ah, my pleasure. Where are you working, by the way? All right, cool. That's looking better. Let's get that thumb in there a little bit. I don't want to screw with the thumb too much because it looks kind of crap when it's like that. Let's get that going. That looks much nicer. Ah, thank you. Took a lot of work, obviously. I haven't really stopped working like overall. A lot of times there were quiet moments, but the first time I started doing 3D was really freelancing. That's the only opportunity I had, really. And yeah, had to like just sort of slog through it. It's hard in Australia to get work in 3D. Ah, nice one. All right, that hand looks a lot better now, at least at the start there. So then, obviously, as she turns her hand, you gotta sort of make sure everything's good. This is the great thing about the IK stuff, the FK to IK automation, is you can kind of IK the hands a little bit, get those dragged effects going on there. There we go. What's going on there? We got some animations there. Ah, there it is. Let's kill that. There we go. Oopsie, undo that. So yeah, you can see this how nice and how useful this is with the thumbs. The only problem is that you don't see obviously all the keyframes they do have on the hand because you're not selecting them. That looks way better already. Oh, so much better. Boonk, boonk, boonk. That thumb rotating around her body, so much nicer. And then as she turns her hand up like that, I'm going to get the hands to sort of drag on the clothing a little bit. And the pinky I might have dragged down a little bit like so. Neither at the moment because I try to avoid anything to do with cloth simulation, even if it's shape keys or whatever. That's why I'm going with this stylized approach for the animation, because I just can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. But if I had a choice, if I had to do it, I would go with simulation, and I wouldn't use Blender for it. I would use something like I'd have to teach myself how to use it, but I'd use something like what do you call it? Marvelous Designer or something like that. Something like that looks good. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. I do have a donation button. I got the the thanks button should be there. But thank you for the kind donation anyway. I appreciate it. Um yeah, cheers. Well, if you want donations, I'll try and put together one. If you guys have a preference, let me know. I can show you what effects I'm going for. Just basic stuff, really. Because stuff like blood splatters will be on compositing. Um, probably some fire and effects like that. I did do some in 3D, but I will probably replace those with 2D assets. Um, and some basic color grading, but everything else will be done in 3D. I think I might actually bring her hand up. So I might grab her hand and push her body. Keep that thumb underneath the girl's shoulder. Like that. That looks way better. Book. Yeah, that looks cool. Bah, bah. It's so simple. Some things are so subtle. And as she pulls back, there we go. How much? It's so much different. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it on the stream, but it's so subtle. But yeah, appreciate the super chats for those who are giving it. Boom. All right, cool. There we go. And then as she pushes it up, I'm gonna make her thumb sort of come up a little bit. I might actually pull out the thumb this way. Like that. That looks better. Obviously, I gotta fix up this thumb now. Yeah. I might just have to shot to what's the word I'm thinking of? Just do it myself. One. Let's fix that up a little bit. 2 keyframes. There we go. I might just actually might push this back on this thumb like that, and then rotate the thumb. There we go. Something like that. It's gonna be so quick. 1, 2, and then this can go around the body. There we go. Something like that. Whoppa. The only problem is that now we're getting some weird pose to pose there. Oh, appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. So you can see here, I'm trying to get the hand to not bounce too much there. No worries. It might be that the secondary profile hadn't had your, I don't know, details or something like that. Who knows? That looks better. There we go. Remove a keyframe. Save a world. And then as she pulls it up, and then I'll fix up her thumb there. There we go. Massive difference. Bum. There we go. Have I ever thought of selling a course? Kind of, probably not. Only because I would rather get, um, I'd rather people get it for free and then just donate than than having to pay for it. Sorry, I just gotta respond to a message. There's also the problem with when it comes to you doing courses, you got to figure out the hosting. So like in terms of hosting the content, paywalls, all that sort of stuff, getting that to work is a real pain, and I don't have the resources to do that. At least I don't think I do. So I'd rather just do the course, publish it on YouTube, put it out for anyone to see, and then if anyone wants to support the channel, they can get the source files, get the videos without ads. I think that's a fairer option as well for everyone. I mean, obviously, I make less money off that, but well, I have no idea whether or not my content would sell anyway. So there's that too. So yeah. All right, cool. There we go. Now, as for, I think her hand, let's give her hand here a little bit of love. You can support me through Patreon. Um, you can support me through YouTube just with a super like, yeah, something like that. Um, there is a donation page on my Streamlabs, but I haven't really published it that much because it doesn't really. I think it's still on my Twitch chat page. The donation page is still there. I think. That's it. Or subbing to Twitch. But Twitch is pretty. I can't rely on Twitch that much because life gets in the way and I don't have time to stream a lot of the time. So yeah, any of those is fine. What I plan on doing is actually I just released a Discord channel for my patrons. So if you want to get on that, feel free. That's on the $5 tier. I'm going to release a $2 tier probably, where just you get access to all the source files and the video content that I've been making, but you don't have access to the Discord. So I want to make a cheaper option for those who want to support without spending too much. You know. There we go. There we go. Let's get that hand rotating there. That looks better. Boom. Big difference. There we go. As for her hands here, I might just go ahead and keep those fingers together up here. Because, like, gravity is sort of pushing them together. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Let's see what we got here. I feel like I've got some rocking back and forth here a little bit. Yep, there's the rock. All right, let's move that up a little bit. Oh, she's moving the wrong way. So yeah, let's see what we got here. There we go. That looks better. There we go. There we go here. And a little bit there. Fantastic. Now, all those poses should pretty much be pushed back. This is where selection sets would come in handy. And probably where those key insets would probably come in handy as well if I say so. But let's go ahead and select those. And move those keyframes back a tad. And I might just keep those poses there for as a hold. That looks better. Oh, no worries. Thank you for the compliment and for commenting. Yeah. Got plenty of more stuff coming up our way. Just as a little hint, we got I got a Maya rigging course coming up that I want to refresh because that was the first thing I actually published on my YouTube channel, and it needs an update. So I'm going to update that. I'm going to be making a creature tutorial series, and of course more animation stuff. So there'll be a lot of stuff to do with walks and jumps and stuff that I want to talk about too over the next couple of weeks and months. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up this way. I would love it if I could get my sub count up on YouTube actually. It's been slowing down a bit lately because of how quiet I've been. So I'm really hoping to get that to work all right. There we go. Ah, thank you. I'm hoping I hope they turn out good. Put it that way. And then gonna move that one up here. I think that will do. There's so much going on in this action here. There we go. I think that works well. I think here, what I might do is actually rotate these so they feel like she's clamping down on the girl a little bit more. There we go. Copy that. I hate when it does that. Let's copy this whole frame. Every now and then you need to delete sometimes you just have to delete keyframes that are getting in the way of things. Keyframe that. Release that keyframe. Even those ones here. Real pain in the ass. It's like there's so much involved in an FK chain that it can be quite frustrating. To get right. Let's keyframe that. There we go. This is where having FK and IK fingers would actually come in handy. There we go. One. There we go. Perfect. At least for now. So, boom, boom. As for the other hand, not really need to do much. I might just have to straighten up her fingers a little bit, but that should wrap up her her action there, at least for her hands, and then I can move on to her face and facial features and stuff like that. I might go for another half an hour before taking a break, and we'll see how I feel after that. Who knows? I might come back online. We'll see. All right, cool. Bring that up. Now, I just want to get rid of that weird claw shape. That's it. That's it. That's all I want to change. So, remove that. And that. I'm quite happy with that, honestly. I just got to give her a little bit of rotation there. There we go. That looks better. Interesting. Her hand isn't showing that. Let's have a look. Let's see. I think that'll work. There we go. So what we're doing here, let's see. One, I just gotta basically counter animate the hand moving there. Let's see. Where's her hand here? Hand's okay there. It's gonna keep her hand nice and tucked under those shoulders. I think that works well. It's got to fix up her fingers now. All right, cool. And the nice thing about the metacarpals, this is one of those overlooked parts of a rig, is you can sort of curve the palm. And curving the palm is so important to a hand pose. All right, let's get that going. And this is usually that's one of the things that a lot of rigs tend to overlook, at least the ones that you can buy or purchase or use for free. They always seem to forget the fucking metacarpals. All right, cool. That looks so much better. Let's make sure that those poses are all right now. There we go. Cool. And as she's falling, you can see her hand is sort of leaving the body a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that that's okay. Getting some clipping there. There we go. And I am happy with that for now. There's some little wobble there, but I think I can deal. And honestly, it kind of looks semi-natural. So, and you got to remember, this is going to be running at 24 FPS, and you're going to be looking at, not looking at the hand, you're going to be looking at the girl's face or Evie's face. So, again, it's a matter of principle, it's a matter of priority here. All right, sweet. Okay. All right, I think we're good with the hands. All right, cool. I am not going to change anything else there. I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and fix up Evie's face. Save the file, of course. Face. Remove the hands from my viewport. Face, jaw, and that should be enough. Oh, and the head. There we go. All right, let's start with the first pose. Now you can see here that Evie's head is clipping through the girl's head. But when you look at the actual render, it's not a big deal because the perspective doesn't show that it's clipping. And if it does, like as in there, it's most likely that I'll add some motion blur to that and fake a bit of blur. So I'm not too concerned about the clipping. So screw that. So what I care about mostly is more her expression. So I'm going to go ahead and pose her expression. Now you can see here I'm working in quaternions here, and it's kind of annoying. So here's a little trick. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go to pose, convert rotation modes, and I'm going to switch it to XYZ. Problem solved. And sorry if I just looking at the comments, making sure that everything's working. But yeah, cool. Now, the way the eyes work in this rig are quite different to a normal rig, and I can go through it in detail some other time. But basically, it's just they're planes, basically. There's no eyeball. Very custom. 100% custom. I didn't use any plugins for this. But it does come with issues. I do want to fix up her eyes, for instance. They're kind of a hacky way to make it work, but yeah. And I probably will end up changing her face rig to be blend shape based. Right now it's based on bones, but it's just too much work to deal with. Might actually bring down the so you can see here, like my my shrink wrapping isn't working there for the eyes, and I wish it were. It should be like being squished by the eye, but yeah, there it goes. The nice thing about the bone rig is that you can completely play with the that's a plugin. That's the only plugin I was gonna say. Bone Manager. Bone Manager is one of the best plugins for Blender. So let's have a look at her head first. Her head's a bit still, so I'm gonna start with her. I might start with her head first. Let's go ahead and rotate that a little bit. There we go. Let's go and move her head down a little bit, as just a little bit. Interesting. There we go. Something like that. Let's have a look. That looks better. Except a little slidey slide. I'll just straighten that out a little bit. Look up Bone Manager add-on. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat, Kelly. Yeah, I do actually, because I plan on once this film is done, or this version of the film, I plan on completely redesigning the characters, and I have a feeling that a lot of it will be grease pencil driven, because I want to go more more stylized, and I don't think it's possible without grease pencil. So I probably will make a grease pencil eye mouth rig for sure. And I will make a tutorial for that in the future. When that happens, I can't really say yet, but hopefully, possibly by the end of the year. We'll see how we go. So you can see here just what I'm doing. There we go. That looks so much nicer. Just a little bit of bounce in that head as she lifts up the girl. Way. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Um, there we go. All right. So what I might do here is get her looking down at the girl as well. That looks nice. Nice little accidental arc there. I'm actually quite happy with that. I might just tilt her head up a little bit there. That's the only problem here, is that this is where it would actually be a problem to have clipping on the top of there. So I might bring that back a little bit. That looks better. Nice. And then as she turns her head up here, get a little bit of there. And then bring that up like so. There we go. Let's have a look. One. Now, the only thing I don't like here is how she doesn't tilt her head, turn her head as she looks away. So what I'm going to do is turn her whole body's really weird there now. That doesn't matter. There we go. And then fix up that a little bit. Remove those keyframes. Will I be animating her hair? Yes. Her hair is actually being driven by some spring bones, using the spring bone add-on. But it didn't work very well for this scene, so we have to animate it manually. So we'll see how we go there. Actually, I might go the opposite direction. Let's go like that. That looks better. There we go. Yes. Yeah. No. You can answer it. You can ask whatever question you like. So yeah, any questions that come to mind, feel free to shoot them. I'm happy to answer any of them. Obviously, if I can answer them, of course, with the knowledge I have. Screw it. I'm happy with that. Even though she looks a little bit robotic there, I don't care. I don't really care. All right, let's go ahead and if I can have different textures in the different parts on the same object. Of course you can. Yes, of course. So the way that works is that you need to have a material assigned for each of those sections. So each material can have a texture assigned to that, and then you're on your way. So for instance, the body here would have one material, and then the head would have another material, and then you can have a texture for each one. So hopefully that answers your question. The other option is to use UV tiles. It's a more advanced system doesn't work in game design, but if you want to take it to a game engine, but that also is a thing that you can try out, and that's assigning multiple textures to one material, as long as your UVs are designed in a way that works with it. All right, cool. All right. Actually, I'm being a picky bastard. I'm gonna add a little bit of overlap in that body there. Let's grab not shoulders. I want CAG and spine. Where the hell's the spine? There we go. That's what I want. All right, cool. Hello. How you doing? That looks better already. That little change, brilliant. That looks better. Brilliant. All right, cool. We're getting there. We're getting there, boys and girls. For the hair, do you just use planes and stick them onto the head? Do you combine them? Good question. Yeah, I'd say you can just use planes and combine them. For stylized hair, at least, that's how I usually operate. I wouldn't bother making them, keeping them separate because rigging them would be a pain in the ass. Um, I'm working on pre-production blueprint for an animation, assuming my laptop can render it, and I want to know if it was simple or not to rig a humanoid. Mostly just basic movements now. So for that, if you want to just do basic rigging animation, like basic humanoid animation, don't bother going with ultra fancy custom rigs. Just do an auto rig, and I'll just use Rigify. If you're using Blender, use Rigify, or you can go even simpler and use the Maya, not Maya, use the Mixamo auto rigger, which is even simpler. Um, when I rig an object, I cut with a plane, then it moves. The new part doesn't move with the rest of the body, so it just stretches. Yeah, so you will have to manually weight paint those. That's the only way it's going to work. Or you can do a data transfer from a more basic geometry, or you can use a plugin called voxelized weight painting. So there's a plugin you can get on the Blender Marketplace, which allows you to combine multiple objects when you're weight painting automatically. All right, cool. That's looking good so far. Actually, don't mind the way she's looking now. All right, cool. So now all I'm going to do is move her eyes down a little bit toward the girl as she drops the girl. Like that. Making sure that her eyes are actually focused on the girl. No worries. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Get some overlap there. You can see we've got some issues there. So I'm going to bring the eye forward a little bit. Fix that problem. There we go. I know you used to use Maya primarily. I love Blender, but I have to learn Maya for school. I'm wondering if you know of resources to learn in Maya for people coming from Blender. Um, Good question. No, I don't, but I plan on making some. Put it that way. So that's what the rigging series will be about. The rigging series will be from a Blender perspective going into Maya, to some degree. Um, so yeah, keep an eye out. Basically, I only know Blender for now. I use a simple rigger add-on for cars, and it works very easily for. Yeah, no. If you have a add-on that does a job for you, and you don't need to actually worry about doing it manually, then by all means just go with add-ons. It's not cheating. All right, cool. What I'm gonna do here, I might actually lower her eyelid. And then when she comes back up, is she blinking yet? No, she's not. So I'm going to get some blinkers in there. All right, cool. Let's get some blinks in there. There we go. And this is my favorite thing about Blender, mirroring poses. Control C, Control Shift V. Ah, so good. And here, I'm going to go ahead and fix up that blink. There we go. Fix that up. Might actually copy that keyframe across. Copy. There we go. Did I? No. Sorry, just checking something. No, I didn't. Just looked like it did. All right, cool. It has changed. It got simplified a little bit, but there's a reason why it's designed that way, I guess. All right, cool. Hey, at least it doesn't have the light gray interface it used to have. Yeah, for sure. Anything that's procedurally built or has some sort of kit bashing or asset pack um, functionality, it's great. Absolutely great. All right, cool. Sweet. So I've got that working. I think I'm happy now with her face. I don't really want to do much with her mouth, but I will fix up her nose because it's a stylistic nose. So anything, whenever the camera is pointing at her face directly, her nose is always one of these directions. So I'm going to go this way. And for me, it's a judgment call. So, and then as she turns her head, I know it's weird, but I tend to, when she turns her head this way, let's see what happens if it looks all right. Ah, wrong way. It just looks better when she looks in a certain direction. The nose flips as well. And I usually make it pretty quick, so like it will flip as like almost like a sprite sheet. Yeah, it's just to make it more interesting. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I want to get a flat design as much as possible. That's what I don't know. It just makes it fun. Even if it looks weird when it animates, I think it's fun. All right, cool. So let's get the hair working. Now, what I might do here, because I built the plugin, put it in here at the start, I might have to turn it off. Let's see. Do I have to turn it off? I do. Oh, wait, I can turn it off here. Brilliant. Yes. So I'll turn. This is the nice thing about library overrides is that you can turn off constraints inside of the rig, and I'll animate that manually. So I might go ahead and animate that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, for sure. I got like another minute of animation left to animate, but with any luck, I'll be able to show the full deal soon enough. There we go. A little gravity in there. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to have a little bit of a bounce in there. Sorry, I'm just listening to music. And then back into a settle. Doesn't need to be much. So just playing with this here. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks fine. And again, just as she bends over, her ponytail should sort of fall behind her head. All right, let's reset that pose a little bit. And there we go. That's better. So yeah, just getting that hair in there. And of course, when it goes around the neck, I don't think you'll see it much when she gets back up, but oh yeah, there might be a little bit of that going on. Let's go ahead and keyframe. Save that. I'm going to delete these keyframes. 1, 2, and then keyframe there. I might go ahead and reset that. And then give myself a little bit of leeway to get a little bit of swing in there. I should have turned them into bendy bones. Can I do that here? No, I can't. That's annoying. I'll change it to bendy bones in the rig. By the way, this is how you do it, by the way. When you have library overrides, I'm going to save that file. Save that. Go back to my original file for the animation rig. And in the settings of the rig, there's her hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the bendy bones that I want to add. Hold down Alt. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Done. Now I've got some nice smoother bendy bones. Go back to the original file, and there we go. Her hair looks a lot smoother now. And now there we go. I'm going to go ahead and soften that out. There we go. Copy that. I might actually just duplicate it as a mirror. And there we go. And I can always go ahead and sort of improve on that. But there's my blocking, I guess you can say. It's a bit too strong there. So I might just go ahead and soften that out a little bit. That looks better. So as she turns here, I might, if the hair is long enough, I don't think it is, but I mean, I could do it this way. Nah, fuck that. There we go. There we go. That looks better. This one's a bit too extreme, especially with the hair up. Might just bring that down a little bit. That looks way better. Yeah, fantastic. And as she turns her head, what I need to do, when making animation, should I tweak the animations per scene or only block them out until all scenes are finally completed with all base animations? That's up to you, really. I tend to finish a scene first before moving on to the next one, although I would actually argue that that would probably be it's actually a bad habit to do, because then you just can end up tweaking so many little things in your scenes that you never get your other scenes done, which is what's happened with my film. So it's a judgment call. If you have the confidence to be able to do it, then by all means, I'd say do it scene by scene. But if you want to just get as much out as possible, like block out as an animatic first, then yeah, it might be worth doing that. It also depends on whether you plan on tweaking your rigs to a point where they break, like I have. So there's that too. So it's really dependent on the project. All right, cool. I'm really happy with that. So let's see what we can do here. So I have a I still have my camera. Do I still have my camera? I do. Great. So what I might try and do now is, as she turns, I'm not sure how much animation I have left that I've cut out here. Oof. Animation's looking very good there. I might actually not include that. I get that. But I think that will be it for now. I'm actually going to render this out over lunch, and if I feel like coming back online, I might come back online and show you the final result. What do you guys reckon? This will take about 35 minutes to render, 35 minutes to an hour. It's 11 now, so just in time for, well, an early lunch. So I might actually go offline for now, and I might come back at, I don't know, 1:30 or 12:30 and show you the end result. Yeah, I feel like it's worked a bit working each type of tweak at each level. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely work on a like on an order of magnitude or order of detail. So start with basic, then work out your mid-level detail, then work out your minor detail. So that's why this whole stream has just been me tweaking the little things. Like, so I've blocked out everything else already and refined what I had. So that's why that's where it's at now. Let's have a look and see how it looks as a shot. So from there, let's have a look and see how it renders. That's looking pretty cool. I feel like I need to put a light in front of it though. Let's turn on the yes, Australia. There's a rain. Let's see what else we got here. I think that's all I need. Rain and the puddles. Puddles. Let's see how that looks. There's the puddles. Nice. Okay, cool. I might add a little light actually at the front here, just to clean things up a little bit. Where's her lights? Let's go into object mode. Turn off the auto keyframing and see where these lights are coming from. 2, 3. What's this light then? I might just duplicate this light. Oh, fuck it. I'll add a new one. Oh, right. Yeah, well, it'll be 8, maybe 7:30 when I pop back on, so we'll see. Yeah. The reason why her face is not picking up as much shadow or light is because I have to tweak her shader a little bit. I might leave that there and see how it animates. Yeah, probably. I'd say so. Play it safe. I think that will be fine. All right. So the last thing I need to do is just tweak the girl's highlights and shadow sensitivity. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do that. Baby. And this is the only problem with using the library overrides in Blender is that you can't tweak shaders as an library. At least I don't think you can. I'd love to be able to. If anyone does have a solution there, that'd be awesome. But let's see. Specular opacity. Specular sharpness. Shadow sharpness. Let's make her sharper. And let's bring up some specular opacity. And bring up the sharpness there as well. So this is me tweaking the shader. And you can actually download this, by the way, for free. It's up on Gumroad if you want to check it out. That's cool. That's a little bit there. Shadow expansion. Oops, wrong one. I might bring up the sharpness as well. I think that will help. All right, let's give that a go. Save that. Yeah, well, yeah. A good computer in general is always helpful, that's for sure. Yeah, it looks better, I think. Just a little bit better. Oh, trust me, low poly animations, if you can make him look cool, fuck, like, it will add so much more personality to your stuff than that looks much better. So, than if you didn't. Trust me, stick with the low poly stuff. Animate something that's cool, and that's all you need to care about, in my opinion. Low poly leads to stylization, and that's what matters the most, in my opinion. At least in this world where everything's so realistic. A little bit of stylization is never a bad thing at this point in time. Why do you think I'm going down this route anyway? That's a bit too bright now. Ah, shit. This thing's snapping in the wrong direction. All right, let's just bring down the brightness on that. I think that'll work well. Contact shadows on, and we're good. The strands are really simple. Let me show you. It's not even strands. It's just geometry. That's all it is. Flat plane geometry with a subdivision, a solidify, and a corrective smooth for the rigging. And that's all it is. And then the strands, it's just been UV mapped. It's got my shader on it. And the only thing that has anything to do with any texture at all is I've added a noise texture with some scale attributes to get the strands looking cool. So that's it. Really simple. So you can see there, that's the result of the normal maps from the noise texture. That's before, that's after. Simple. Like I said, sometimes I just can't be fucked. My time budget is limited. I'm not going to go through and texture absolutely every single thing, especially this little girl is only going to be featured in one episode for 3 minutes. At least for now. I'm not sure. Depends if it's who knows. But you can put in the comments. Put in the comments of this video once it goes up. All right, cool. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I will come back in about an hour, and then we can see how it all turned out. Before I do that, I'm gonna turn on her shader. She does have shadows. Not sure why it's not showing up in the video. Okay, cool. Yeah, it does. It makes a really good. It just works really well for stylized hair, at least it does. All right, I will be back hopefully in about an hour, and we'll see how it all turns out. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been awesome. It's been really fun doing this together, and it's nice to be able to get some animation at the door as well, which is always fun. Let's hook up the battery with some energy, and then I'm gonna start rendering. All right, I will let you guys go. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'm glad. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon.